that's a lot of green. That should be fine. MGH 66. Yes, and so. Oh, that was huge.
Like, are those infected? Maybe.
So, I can pretty much tell you right now, like, we can basically, that's probably the starting point. So I'm going to hold down Shift, I'm clicking and dragging, and I'm going to just keep going until, right there. Okay, so that's the subsection, right click, keep selected frames in Z.
Okay.
And we're just going to recrop it.
That's easier.
So you saw that was a click and drag, and
Yeah.
relatively straightforward. All right, so another 3D analysis.
Yes, it's going to be a 3D analysis. Essentially, this time, the GFP is bacteria, and so essentially what I'm interested here would be,
I like the bacteria.
I guess, yeah,
intensity.
I forget what terms we use, but like I would gate it on the on the green. So I want to only look at the areas of green, and then look at the intensity of red
Inside the green.
inside the green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Straightforward. Not bad. So again, we're going to hop into our GA3. Back on. And then here, you're just going to segment the...
Segmenting. So I'm going to segment it on the
Yeah, I mean, I almost always do a denoise just to clean it up, because it's going to make the green right here. It's going to make the segmentation easier, and you're going to get a lot less...
And then we'll handle it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, everything is saturated. So just be aware. This tool right here, when you're setting up, can be very helpful.
Yeah.
So that'll give you red pixels wherever your saturation is.
Gotcha.
All right. So then we just jump over to our threshold, drop it right on top. So it's going to be even easier in many ways.
Yeah.
So, does that look good?
Yeah.
Do you think some of the smaller ones are there? Like,
I
some of them I'm like, oh, like, near the bottom, I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, we could probably take it higher or lower. I guess would be the cut out
You
more.
want to cut
Or higher, yeah.
We can cut out more things.
out more things?
Yeah.
Maybe they are, I don't know. I guess it's pretty consistent.
I think
so.
it's probably fine.
For
yeah.
proof of concept,
Proof, it's fine.
we'll go this way. So again, maybe you throw in some filtering, maybe you don't. That would be the next. Because sometimes, this would be an example where, like, sometimes getting the layer you want with this might be really hard if you're, like, really trying to fine-tune it.
Yeah.
So get the layer that's really dirty, and then clean it up afterwards.
Yeah. This is a bad image. This is just the one where I used a jet-resistant bacteria.
Oh, yeah.
So normally in this same image, there's probably only going to be like 2 really nice green spots. I'm going to make it a lot easier, but...
So if all you want is an intensity count through that mask, then we're going to jump right to measurement. If you wanted to say count these red spots inside of those things, that would be different. We would want to create a second mask.
Gotcha.
But here it's just take your your object measurement and then just link it
Right to the far red.
to the
yeah.
far red, and that is
That'll tell us the intensity of red within the green. Okay. And then I'll actually have 2 channels, so I'll do ratio because it'll be blue and yellow. But I don't have that image yet.
So for proof of concept again, it would just be ratio,
Yeah.
and I'd probably throw in the standard, right? So I'd have red, far red, let's see, it's GP, right? So then I'd have my individuals and my ratio, and then I can always backtrack my calculations. And there you go. Super straightforward, super simple.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's not bad.
And if that's all you want, you're good.
If I wanted to count the, I guess is it? I don't know how much
Count.
that is.
You want to count these?
Yeah, I don't know.
It does give you a count, like,
Yep. So if I turn on my
list,
summaries, I can see my individual count is 155.
Gotcha.
so it's so high.
Yeah.
Whenever I do analysis, I'm always like, there's like 5 infected, then it's like 50. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But you can also, like we saw the graphing that we can do.
Yeah.
There's also, like, let's say you don't want to go through the manual step of exporting to Excel. there is a where is it? My export table to CSV. You can build it right
Oh,
in.
that's easy. Yeah. And then you just
The,
have it as
the last thing that's actually critical when you have multiple files on multiple and you want to run the batch process and you want everything in one file is the where is it? They keep moving things on me. Load and concatenate. You'll need that as your very last step, at least tangential to the. We would want this, right? So what load and concatenate does, and this is weird. I really wish the programmers would just do this the smart way, not the crazy, stupid way. When you run even a batch without load and concatenate, you're gonna get a bunch of individual data tables.
No, I mean,
Each
that's
image.
what Embarrass does. It's very
Load and
annoying.
concatenate's a little different.
Yeah.
Image file 1, you're gonna have data set 1. Image file 2, you're gonna have 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So
Oh,
every
that's nice,
image
though.
is gonna have more. So you go all the way to your last image,
Yeah.
like 155 in this. You know, if you had 10 images, go to the last data set. It'll have all of your data.
That'd be nice.
So load and concatenate is what you need
I
to do.
have just been manually compiling them, so
And then you can tell it what the result name is.
Gotcha.
File name. I don't usually do run index. File name is useful though because it'll leave the actual. It'll tell you which image it worked on.
yeah.
And so we ran this on this image, so it just I guess as proof of just to see how we would do this. Now let's say I want to run this exact thing on another image right now. Is
I mean,
that-
so we'd save this. We're gonna call this. What do you want to call this?
We can just call it analysis one.
Josh, put your name in there.
JP1, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, enters. Keep wanting to enter. So then, if you had a different data set, like okay, you haven't run that on anything. Let's go ahead and look at. This is the first one, right? So I can go ahead. I've got that selected. This is yeah. So you'll see if it doesn't match. If your data does not match the analysis does not match your data, you're gonna see a little alert just saying like, hey, this is probably not gonna be what you expect. Something doesn't
Okay.
quite match. But then I choose Josh's training analysis, that goes away.
Okay.
Because that's the kind of data we built it on.
Yeah.
This one was yours, so we have different numbers of channels.
Yeah.
So it would probably run, but it would not kick out. It doesn't match. Old
Yeah.
GA3 pre 6.0 would have not even run. It wasn't flexible enough to account for that.
Okay.
A newer version can,
Okay.
which is nice. So here you just hit run.
I guess my question is, all of these analyses we've previously run are going to be saved in the analysis.
Yeah, I'm going to show
Explorer?
you. We'll just let this one run. It's got to do the pre-processing. So this will take time. When you batch it, you will see this like red indicator pop up, and then it'll be like, "Don't touch the computer." Analysis and process, and you'll see it opening and closing files,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And there's the numbers.
And there are your numbers. Great, because we're on the flat view, and I turned that
Oh,
off.
gotcha. Yeah, the 3D does
So here you'll see that it gives you a run, and then let's say this image is closed. Close that. Let's not save anything to it for now, whether or not that was the right step. But then if I choose that, I can hit. Probably because we didn't save it. That's my bad. Open will open the file that it ran from.
Gotcha.
And then if we ran it again and saved it, hitting this would pop open. Ah, there we go. I did save it. Perfect. Because you'll see wherever this was saved, there is now going to be a .h5. There's going to be some .h5 files. I think that's the data in the format that GA3 uses.
Okay.
They never explained that to me.
That's fine. Yeah.
But those will exist. That's your data. Don't delete it. Unless you want to run your experiment, your analysis again. Yeah.
Are you gonna use Dappy at all? Like,
That's the problem. Is so the lyso sensor is blue and yellow, so I can't.
I don't know. Like, what would you even? I don't know if you really even need Dappy though. Like, I mean, I think you need it just for.
It would
to
just
show
make it
the
easier
cells.
for me to identify them.
Yeah, maybe.
So you can't use DAP because you're already using blue and yellow. Are you using far red in your actual?
I'm using RFP.
That's not far red.
So
That's
not
just
far
red.
red, no.
Topro 3. That's a far red nuclear stand. That's the one that I used to use.
Gotcha.
So the old school confocal that I cut my teeth on, it didn't have a blue laser.
Ooh.
So it just had green, red, and far red. So in order to do a nuclear stain,
You
you
can
use
do a
Topro.
far right. Okay. Yeah. Could work. No, that would be nice to have too, just so I can make sure it's an infected cell, not just a bacteria floating.
All right. Anything else?
I mean, I think that's.
I feel like the laser tracker is pretty condensed too. But
Yeah.
yeah. No, the Ameris software is technically not our lab, so I've kind of been using it
Okay.
like on loan, which is why I think I wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll find that we have that our stuff is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Once you kind of get the basics of it and how it works.
Yeah.
And the saturation I have to fix while I'm taking the image.
Correct.
Because now my analysis is meaningless.
Correct.
It's saturated.
It's not meaningless.
I
though.
just-
no. The only thing that's meaningless would be the laser tracker is more important than the GFP. But
Yeah, but if I the GFP. The
GFP is just a-
saturation doesn't matter, but I think the laser tracker is saturated.
the laser
too,
tracker does
The red.
matter.
I mean, that's all set.
though.
Like,
it's all.
so you can't. There could be 5 of those spots in there. It could just be a big blob. You don't know.
Yeah. That's the big issue.
It's all saturated. So yeah, best friend.
Yeah. I think this image was before the training.
Well, we were trying. Okay, so it's
No,
like,
I mean-
with the zebrafish, it's like, you know, there's some part like with the far red, like it's kind of staining some other tissue that I don't care about very brightly. So sometimes I have to crank it up,
Right,
you know,
right.
to get it.
Exactly, and that's exactly what you should be doing.
Yes. So, but no, for just I think we were just figuring out the machine too when we took these images.
Question not for analysis.
Okay.
Go back to something.
Are you guys all set though?
I
Like your
think
analysis. Let's make sure they're good.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Set.
Any little things I'll email you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's very small question. So when